Hello, beautiful beings. My name is Anisha, and welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. Um, okay, I've been doing this after, I guess, a week, but I'm really excited to be here today. And I would love to know who all are joining this space. So feel free to share your name or which part of the world you're joining us from in the comments. Hi, Ursula. Ursula is joining us from London. Beautiful. Thank you, Ursula, for choosing to spend your precious time here in the space with me and with everyone who will join the space. So, for those of you who are new to the space, let me quickly give you guys an overview as to what we do here. Okay. So, we usually start these lives with a meditation of around 30 minutes, and that meditation is inspired by the quote that you see when you open Insight Timer homepage. So, we try to absorb that wisdom from that quote and feed it to our subconscious mind through an affirmation meditation. And then once we feel more settled, more centered, we move on to phase two of this live where we have a wheel. Okay, so we spin that wheel of wisdom, and the universe selects a book for us from that wheel. And then we play a game together where I ask you guys to pick a number, and then I do intuitive readings for those numbers that are chosen. So that's like a very quick summary of what we do here. I will share more details when we get to each part, but for right now, I would love to know that are you guys ready for today's meditation? Are you guys settled in a place where you would like to meditate? And if you are ready, you can type ready in the comments to let me know. And until then, I will also drop a quick message in the comments for those who will join us during the meditation so they know what is going on. Wonderful, Ursula is ready. And you're so welcome, dear. Okay, so just a second to drop the message. Okay, done. So begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to sit, stand, or lie down, whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle here, allow yourself to take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, gently close your eyes, arriving within. Become aware of the support beneath you. Allow your body to be held by the warm embrace of Mother Earth. Resting your awareness on your breath, noticing the natural flow of air moving in and moving out of your body. There is no need to change anything. Let your mind settle and your body relax as you go deeper and deeper into your mind. Finally arriving at the door of your subconscious mind. Today, we are going to reprogram your subconscious mind using a timeless quote by Sharon Salzberg. The quote is: begin again with kindness. Begin again with kindness. There are moments when we feel like we have fallen off track. We break a routine, miss a goal, react in a way we regret, or simply we don't show up as we wanted. And often the hardest part isn't what happened, it's how we respond to ourselves afterwards. Our mind can become critical, saying, I should have done better. I have messed this up. Or I have to restart everything and do it perfectly this time. Over time, this pressure makes starting again feels very heavy. Sharon Salzberg offers us a different way. She says that beginning again doesn't require punishment, pressure, urgency, or perfectionism. It simply requires willingness and kindness towards yourself. And every moment is a new place to begin. And how we begin matters. So take a moment now to think about something that you had started with intention, but you stopped it or you drifted away from it for whatever reason. So bring to your mind that thing. And now notice what your inner voice says about it. Is there any pressure, disappointment, or judgment? And now gently ask yourself, if I removed the pressure to do this perfectly this time, then what would a kind beginning look like right now? And what is the smallest step I can take from this place now that I am beginning this again in a kind way? Very good. And now, holding that gentle beginning in your awareness, allow these affirmations that I am going to share in a moment to support a softer way of starting this again. So, in a moment from now, I'm going to share certain affirmations with you. I will repeat each phrase 3 times. For the first 2 times, simply allow those words to land in your subconscious. And on the third time, if you feel called, allow yourself to repeat that phrase after me, either in your mind or out loud. So let's begin. You are beginning to soften the way in which you speak to yourself. I am beginning to soften the way I speak to myself. I soften the way in which I speak to myself. You can release harsh judgments. You can release harsh judgments. I am releasing harsh judgments. You can allow yourself to be simply human. You can allow yourself to be simply human. I allow myself to be simply human. Each moment is a fresh beginning for you. Each moment is a fresh beginning for you. Each moment is a fresh beginning for me. You are allowed to start again. You are allowed to start again. I am allowed to start again. You don't need to carry the weight of yesterday into the now. You don't need to carry the weight of your past into your present. I don't carry the weight of my past into my present. can begin from where you are. You can begin from where you are. I can begin from where I am. You don't need a perfect restart. You don't need a perfect restart. I don't need a perfect restart. Small steps are enough for you right now. Small steps are enough for you. Small steps are enough for me. You are taking small steps forward every single day. You are taking small steps forward every single day. I am taking small steps forward every single day. You are gently building momentum at your own pace. You are building momentum at your own pace. am gently building momentum, doing things at my own pace. You are choosing gentleness over force as you restart this time. You are choosing gentleness over force as you restart this time. I am choosing gentleness over force as I restart this time. You did great. And now that we have planted the seed of wisdom, that you don't need to start perfectly, but instead you just need to start kindly. So, as we have planted the seed into your subconscious mind, know that the seed will continue to grow in the background, and each time you repeat these affirmations, the seed will grow stronger and eventually bear fruits in your life. So, with that knowing, allow yourself to return to your body. If at this point you feel the need for more rest, then you will find yourself drifting into a peaceful sleep. And if you feel ready to meet the day ahead of you, then simply allow yourself to wake up by wiggling your toes and your fingers, and in your own time gently open your eyes. Arriving back in this space, I see that a lot of new people have joined us while we were meditating. So, a warm welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a space where the right message reaches you. And in case you guys missed the meditation, I will share towards the end of this live where you can find the meditation. But for now, those who didn't meditated with us, if you guys feel called to share your experience of the meditation or your favorite affirmation in the comments, you're welcome to do that. And if not, if you don't feel like typing, then that's okay too. And once I go through all the comments that are here, we will move on to phase two of this live, where we will spin the wheel of wisdom and the universe will choose a book for us so that we receive the message that we need to hear most today. Okay, so let's say Beryl says hello from UK. Hi Beryl, welcome. There are a lot of people here today from UK. Neil also says good morning from UK. Blessings. Welcome, welcome to you all. I am glad that you guys chose to, be here to spend some of your precious time here with all of us. And I hope that you receive whatever it is that you need to hear most today. Hi, Kathleen. Kathleen says, miss being here. Me too. I miss these lives. I missed you and everyone here in this space. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy to be back here today. I'm not sure if I'm going to be regular just yet. So I do these lives for the ones, those who are new. I do these lives on alternate days, but recently I took a break of a week or so. So maybe perhaps after a week I might be regular. But yeah, I am just grateful to spend this moment with you all. Robin says, peace, fine friends. Peace, Robin, and welcome. Welcome to the space. And thank you for bringing your peaceful, beautiful vibrations here. Caitlin says, hi, just got my coffee. Slow start today. Excited to join you all. Hi, Caitlin. So happy to have you here again. And yeah, slow mornings are just my thing as well. My brain is like not fully functional when I wake up, so yeah, it takes me a long time to wake up. So yeah, you're welcome just as you are. Okay, so now let me show you guys, especially the ones who are new to the space, our wheel of wisdom. So, my dear ones, this is our wheel of wisdom. And as you guys can see, this wheel contains the name. Oh, there are like 444 hearts there. And yeah, by the way, thank you so much for all the love that just poured in, you know, from the minute I opened this space. It just I'm so grateful for it. Okay, Patrick, there is a comment by Patrick. So let me first go through that and then I will share more about the wheel. Okay. So Patrick says, hello, Anisha and friends. I joined in shortly after the meditation started, and the wisdom that most stuck out for me was that small steps are just fine. Yeah, they are more than fine. But yeah, they are just enough. They are what we need. And that it's okay. Start where I left off, but to begin again. No matter how small those steps are, is a good aspect of moving forward. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing your takeaway and whatever came to you in this space. And yeah, I absolutely agree because, at times, for example, when we try to develop a good habit or get rid of a bad one, and we have a setback, or with our goals, when we have a setback, it feels like, you know, um, that I just failed and there is no point in starting again. We just don't feel motivated enough to do that again. But, you know, if that still is aligned with your values, if that still is what matters most to you, then it is worth starting again. And that setback says nothing about you. It is just a part of that whole process of building anything, whether it is a habit or whether it is a dream of yours. It is just a natural part that if we can accept, we are able to easily move past that point and start again with a small step. That is another important thing. So, yeah, thank you, Patrick, for highlighting that. I appreciate it. And now, our wheel. So, as I was saying, so this wheel contains the name of 51 transformational books that I have read over the past 10 years of my life. And now, what we're going to do is, I invite you guys to take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need guidance on today? And see if something specific emerges for you. And if so, hold that in your awareness. And if not, then you can just hold a beautiful wish in your heart that may everyone listening to this receives the message that is for the highest good. And once you hold either of those things in your awareness, in your heart, let's spin. Okay. So the book that came for all of us is Practical Mindfulness by Kim Davies. So let's see how we can be more mindful in our life, which we need a lot. So, okay, give me a second to open the book. This is our beautiful book. And now I'm going to take a moment to do some numbers so that we all of us can play a game together. I'm seeing a lot of like double four, so it's like 44 minutes since I started the live. Okay, so choosing some numbers for us. So, my dear ones, in a moment from now, I'm going to ask you guys to pick a number between certain numbers, okay? I do not want you guys to rush. Take your time, see which number pops up first in your mind. Share it in the comments. I will go through all the comments and pick the number that my intuition is feeling called to. So here you go. Pick a number between 26 to 128 to receive the message that wants to arrive in your life right now. Thank you, Patrick, for choosing a number. Thank you, Beryl. Ooh, both of you are close. Interesting. Ah, Okay. Anyone else who would like to choose a number to receive the message that they need to hear? Hi, Elba. And Elba is choosing 36 for us. Thank you, Elba. Anyone else before I pick a number? Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. Okay, seems like Elba and Kathleen landed on the same number. So I get the hint from the universe, and we're going for page number 36 now. Okay, give me a second to open it. Page number 36. So, I will read out what is on page number 36, but there was also one, I think, I don't know, like a line that just popped up for me. So I'm going to read that first and then I will read what is on page number 36. So the line was, patience is the ability to meet life's setbacks and delays with equanimity or even a wry amusement rather than annoyance and anger. Okay, seems like this line one popped up for me because it was related to our, quote and setbacks, facing setbacks. So when we are facing setbacks, the quality to embody is patience, is equanimity, and is even a bit of curiosity or amusement that, okay, becoming curious about that setback, as in learning from it, as in seeing what is happening inside of you, what comes up for you when you go through a setback. What is that voice in your head that says, what is that inner dialogue? So that would reveal a lot of things to you. So that was something that popped up. But now coming to page number 36, the heading here is trust. So the author says the concept of trust, like faith, can sound a bit dubious, as if you are signing up for something that you do not really understand. That is not what is meant by trust in mindfulness. So, the first part is trust in yourself. We all have moments of self doubt, and some of us are much less self confident than others. So, in mindfulness, we build trust in ourselves and in our ability to know ourselves. We understand that we are the best and the only person who can know what is happening in our minds and bodies at any given moment. The Buddha advised that rather than relying on the words of teachers or writers, we should accept something as true only when we have come to know it through experience. I agree. So trust in your experiences and in your capacity for understanding them. So, and what the author mentioned here, I always, say this to my clients. I like advertise it that you are the best person who know yourself best, who also knows what is best for yourself. There is no one in this world who can tell you what is best for you but you. Because because you know everything about yourself. And yes, sometimes it feels unclear. Sometimes you don't know what to do. Sometimes you um, doubt yourself too much. Sometimes you are not able to understand what is happening. And at those moments, you can take outside support. You can, read a book. You can search on the internet. I'm like, maybe not, because there is a lot of information that can do harm or good. But yeah, you can consult a professional, and they can help you reveal that what you already know. They can help you see that for yourself. And that is, I think, the best kind of help. That is the help that I believe in doing for my clients, because I'm like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. All the people are like, you know, just tell me what to do and I'm going to do it sometimes. But that is not going to be beneficial for you. The thing that is going to benefit you is for me to ask you certain questions, is to poke around certain things that would reveal, that would make it clear to you what it is that you want, what is the best way to get there, what is stopping you and how to get around that and all of that stuff. So the message here is to trust in yourself and to not go for the conceptual knowledge or what people are saying. Instead, see if whatever I'm hearing, does that sit well with what I have experienced in my life yet? If not, then that is not true for you, at least up until that moment. Because there was a time in my journey when like I like went into spirituality and I read all those, um books and stuff, and I was like, all that vague stuff, like it's really nice. And for a certain point I get like entangled in that. I was like, okay, I know something. But it was just conceptual knowledge and I was just repeating what I have read. And until and unless I experienced certain things, I experienced for myself who I am. I experienced for myself my own capacity, my own love, and all of those different things. All of those concepts were just here. But when you feel it here, or in your body, or in an experience, that stays with you. And that is your truth. That is the truth that you need to stick to. And don't be, the problem starts when you get rigid about what you have read, what you have learned conceptually, because most like that is not the truth sometimes, and we get entangled in all of that, and then we argue with people that, okay, this is my truth, this is your truth, and we argue. But the truth that is revealed at an experiential level usually, as Kathleen says, resonates. It lands with most people at some deep level, and there is, you know less of a conflict about it. So, so to sum up all my rambling, the point is to only believe something if you have experienced it yourself, like in your own life, you have observed something. So only believe that you have experienced. And if you need to make sense of your experience, you can go to outside help to see what lands again in alignment with your experience. So that was the message that came up, or maybe something else resonated for to you with you from the paragraph that read, and the message just landed for you. The message that just landed for you was just trust in yourself, and that's it. So different things land to in the heart of different people here. So just if you feel called to share, if it resonated, what part resonated, what you're carrying away from what I just read or spoke, you're welcome to share that in the comments, because we all are here a source of wisdom, and this is a space for that wisdom to land. So, yeah, if you feel called, you can share it, not just Kathleen and Elba, but everyone. But I would love to know if it resonated with you at all, Elba. We know it resonated with Kathleen, and I'm happy that it did. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that, Kathleen. Oh, Heidi is here, and Heidi also chose a number. That's one way to get my attention on 44 again. As I mentioned before, I'm seeing a lot of double fours today. But yeah, Heidi chose a number that was like in line with Beryl, Patrick's, and then Heidi's number. Interesting. And Heidi says, I'm sending my love to everyone from southern Maine in Wabanaki territory in the northeast of the indigenous homelands of America, Turtle Island. Welcome, Heidi. Welcome back here again. and I'm thinking, should I go to this page, like page number 42, 43, 44? In this way, everyone's number would be covered. Or, like, should I go to the next reading, next book, and we can choose that? So, yeah. Um, should I continue with the same book or should we choose the next book? What do you say? Patrick says yes. I don't know to which options. So, yeah, you can clarify. Okay, same. Yeah, so let's go with that. And maybe everyone, who needed a message would receive it. So, let's go to 42, 43, 44. Perhaps there is like a theme that is on all those pages. Goodness says, yes, this book is potent right now. Okay, happy to hear that. So, yeah, let's see what is coming up here. Hmm. So, two things. On Kathleen says, what is the name of this book? The name of this book was Practical Mindfulness by Kim Davies. And if you want the spelling and everything, you can check that, as you know, in the group I have, which is World of Wisdom on Insight Timer. Okay. So, yeah, so on page number 42 and 43, the heading is compassion. And on 44, there is like, it shares some of the hindrances to being mindful, like having doubts or feeling like we should be good at it. So, let me first dive into this compassion part, which might resonate with Beryl, Patrick, and anyone else. So, so there is like a highlighted part here which says a gentler world. Having a compassionate attitude expresses itself in many ways. You may start to notice the struggle or toil of small creatures around you. Instead of heedlessly breaking through a spider's web, for example, you might instead notice that the spider is engaged in the struggle of existence, just like we all are, and have the presence of mind to move around it instead. You may even extend your compassion to the plants around you, taking the time to tend a neglected patch of garden, perhaps. I love that, it's like an extension of there's this practice which was, I think, popularized by Ram Dass, and it's called Just Like Me. I also have like some tracks for it. But yeah, it was about understanding that the other person is just like me, but now it like extend to the animals and the plants, the flora and fauna, it's like understanding that this little being is just like me, like that web that we destroy because we find it dirty or whatever reason. It, if you just pause and if you just notice the amount of effort it took a spider to create that whole web, the beauty of it, the pattern of it, it would become a beautiful moment, to spend your time in that manner. Or if we just noticed how an ant is carrying a piece of food to her, I know, hole or like home, uh, it would be so like, wow, we are admiring the hard work of it. We are appreciating the struggle it takes to just, get that food that we so easily get in a click of a button these days. So, or whatever that brings up for you. And I don't know about you, like as a child, I used to observe ants a lot. And it was like a really nice activity. Instead of having our eyes glued on the phone all the time, it was nice to just look out in the environment and to see it from different perspectives, from like going on the ground with them and just living like a few moments from that perspective. So yeah, it would be an interesting activity or whatever version, your creativity uh, pops up, like express. I don't get the right words, but yeah, whatever creativity comes up for you, whatever creative way you can think of to do something like that, and to just for a moment to get out of yourself, of your small separate self, of thinking about you and your problems and your desires and your everything all the time, to just shifting a perspective and taking someone else that is not even a human being in your heart for that moment. Wouldn't that be beautiful? and, and before I read this beautiful comment by Kathleen, let me share a resource that might help you do that if you don't feel like putting an effort to think about all these ways. Then I created a course, I guess last year, which is called The Art of Noticing. And it has some wonderful activities, some guided practices to experience this world from a different perspective, to feel more alive, to feel all that peace and beauty and wonder that you used to do as a child. So I hope that you will like it. Okay, Kathleen says, I am I have these onions and celery sprouts that are so small and seemingly unchanging for weeks. I can relate. Another example are the worms on the concrete after rain, striving to travel to its next destination. Yeah, like it it would be nice. So okay, so once like yeah, so I think it was a few days ago only I had like a worm, only a worm. It was like in my home, so I just took it and I just placed it back in the soil. And it was like it felt like okay, I'm lending a hand, it's a nice feeling to do these small things, to tend those plants as the author showed here, to care for them. It's yeah, wow. So, Kathleen, thank you so much for sharing these two beautiful, examples or things from your life. And Kathleen says, I always look out for them and carefully step over. Beautiful, Kathleen. Yay. And yeah, and like I can relate, when like there are flowers and everything. So when I go to a park and stuff, I want to step around them, like because they are also alive. Even a plant is alive, even if they don't feel all those different things that a human or an animal can do. But it just feels nice to take care of. another life for a moment in a very, very small way. It doesn't have to be big, you know. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So thank you, Kathleen, for sharing all these beautiful examples, for sharing all these beautiful ways in which you care for another, you know, being, another presence in this world. That is so beautiful. Patrick says some. Okay, same. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there are so many nice people in this community, and I love that about you. You guys are such kind souls, and I'm glad that even though sometimes this world feels like it's on fire, literally on fire sometimes, there are some, kind souls that likes to take care of the little beings, the little things. The hope is not lost at all, like fully. Okay. Now we do have something on page 44, as I said, the hindrances to mindfulness. But I don't know, I feel like complete. I feel like whatever wanted to come through has come through. So, Heidi, I would like your permission. Would it be okay if we move on to the next book and, and see and just do the whole choosing numbers thing again? Or would you like me to read what is on page number 44? Let me know. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, so Heidi is still here. So yeah, Heidi, I was asking that would you like me to read what is on page number 44 from this book? Or would you like us to move to the next book and see what wants to come through that one? And you can choose a number and we can do a random draw again. So yeah, because for some reason I feel complete. So that's why I wanted to ask that if you really want, I will read from that page. So let me know. Patrick says, sometimes we as people feel the same way as the smaller insects or worms, like they are needing to have that same compassion extended to them. Yeah, I just imagine ourselves shrinking and becoming that small as a radio comment, Patrick. And I used to love those like movies, or like those cartoons. I think I must have watched, I don't know, a Disney cartoon or something like a Life of a Bug or something like that. And yeah, it was like really nice to see a miniature version of us and experience the world that way. It was just wow. And I actually included, I think, an exercise related to that in that course that I shared before, which was the art of noticing. Okay, Heidi says, whatever you feel called to do. Thank you, Heidi, for giving me the permission. So, yeah, so I really feel like doing the next book. Um, so yeah, let's see which is the next book that wants to come through. So okay. So the book that came up is The Mindful Path to Self-Compassion, Freeing Yourself from Destructive Thoughts and Emotions by Christopher K. Germer. So let's see what wants to come through this book. So this is our book. Now, let me choose some numbers. So, Yeah, I thought that, Patrick. Compassion seems to be the reoccurring thing. Ah, Patrick says whether it is for ourselves or for others. Yeah, exactly. This was like for others. And then the meditation was around being gentle and kind with ourselves. Okay, let's see what new way in which we can be compassionate would emerge from this. So I invite you guys to pick a number between 42 to, okay, sorry, to 252. Huh, okay. Kathleen says, yes, thought the same, both self and to others. Exactly. I think there is a quote that don't forget to include yourself in the circle of compassion because without it, it's not a circle or something like that, which is like really, really true. Thank you, Robin, for sharing a number. Thank you, Joe. Anyone else who feels called to share a number? Okay, interesting. There are like 64 people here who join, and Joe shared 64 as her number. Joe is really in tune with the universe. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing a number. Okay, anyone else? Heidi is sticking with 44. Okay, thank you, Heidi, for sharing a number. Ah, okay. Final call. Anyone else before I pick a number amongst these? Okay, Caitlin, let's go with 64 then, because clearly we have too many signs to ignore. So yeah, let's go with 64, which has been chosen by Joe, Caitlin, and the universe itself. Okay. So the author says, anchoring your attention in the breath does more than cultivate a focused and calm mind. It allows you to see how the mind works. It's like holding a camera steady to take a picture. So, by now, you have already learned how easily the mind wanders, compares, judges, and labels whatever it perceives. The longer you spend in meditation, the more you will discover about your mind. You will also discover a lot about yourself, your emotions, your memories, and how you react to different circumstances. Because like how like how you react when your mind wanders, when you really want to focus your mind on your breath, tells you how you usually react when you're not able to do the things that you want to, when you're not able to work on those tasks or those goals. So if you are critical then when your mind wanders from your breath, you are critical at those moments when you face a setback, because that nature, because you are the same, it's just different ways in which that is getting expressed. So these, so your meditation, that space, those moments reveal to you a lot more about yourself and how your mind works. If you get so For example, if you get distracted and that distraction is your thoughts, so if you notice what you usually think about in most of your meditations, like where does your mind usually go? Is it in the past? Is it to your future? Does it plan a lot? Does it catastrophize a lot? What kind of thoughts happens? So when you like give it space, all those patterns, all those things emerges for you. It becomes clear. And when now you have become aware of yourself, you are easily able to catch yourself, catch those patterns when you are outside in the real world, when there is a lot to focus on and you cannot just, you know, redirect your attention within and just figure out your patterns and everything in real time. So, that space, those moments can give you that space and time to do that. So, if you have fallen behind on your practice of meditation, then this is a reminder from the universe to maybe get back to that. And you can begin again, as today's quote said, with gentleness. So, yeah, I think that was it. So that was the message that wanted to came through. Maybe the message was for you to know yourself more, like do certain practices that help you do that. It can be journaling, it can be talking to a therapist or a coach, it can be meditating, it can be anything, or the message was something else, but that was the reading. And let me know if it resonated, if this reading resonated with you, Caitlin and Joe, at all, or anyone else also, if something came up for you as I was reading that. So, Caitlin says, I am feeling like this is giving us a taste of some wonderful cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy. CBT and DBT, my favorites. Okay, Caitlin has added another therapy to her like toolkit, huh? That is nice to know. Like I've heard you talking about CBT before, but not DBT. So basically, for those of you who don't know, like the main skills that we learn in DBT are related to mindfulness is one of them. And then there is emotion regulation skills, there is distress tolerance skills, there is interpersonal communication or interpersonal skills. So there are like all these different tools and skills that you learn in that approach. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can learn more about it. But yeah, I'm happy to hear about the tools that you're using to learn more about yourself, to move towards a version of you that you want to be. Caitlin says, I'm more partial to the CBT, but yes, DBT has some wonderful nuggets I have been using. Okay, nice to know. Yeah, so I have a lot of courses around CBT. If you guys don't know, then you guys are welcome to check them out. Maybe you can start with, this one. But yeah, so that was, I think, my first that is my one of my favorites too, Caitlin. And yeah, like I feel like every therapy, every therapeutic approach, or every other modality also have something to offer, and it might not solve or it might not address everything, but it has something to offer, and we can just take what we resonate with and we can leave the rest. Ah, thank you, Caitlin, for mentioning my courses. Yeah, I was planning to add more of them. So the courses that I shared with you guys, I was working on related to regulating your nervous system. So yeah, I already like recorded, I think 60 lessons, 60 or 70 lessons up until now. Like the last month, but yeah, I have to do some editing. I just need some time to do them so I can like launch them or like, publish them on Insight Timer. But yeah, 3 courses have been recorded and more are coming. And I might create some like courses or stuff around different therapeutic approach. I'm not sure if you guys are interested. If you are, you can let me know. I will like share. I will create more content from inspired by different therapeutic approaches so you can have those tools so they are not, you know, like gatekept, I don't know, by a certain, group of people. So yeah, if you want to learn more tools that are therapeutic, you can let me know. I can create them for you. Okay. And Joe says, namaste, or yes. Caitlin says, yes, I love the differences because all our brains work different. So there is a potential, a modality for everyone somewhere. Just finding the right fit. Exactly. It's all about finding the right fit, whether it is with the modality, whether it is with a person as in relationships or in in terms of your therapist or coach, whatever it is, it's always about finding the right fit with a tool, so just keep exploring. Don't give up if you haven't found the right modality, the right tool for you. There is one out there. There is something that would resonate with you. It is just taking some time. Okay. So my dear ones, I feel like, yeah, we have reached the end of today's session. It is going to be 1.5 hours soon. And I so enjoyed doing this after a while. I missed everyone. I missed the space, this feeling, and everything. And I so appreciate you guys spending some time with me here. Patrick says it does give tangible and concrete ideas to gain knowledge of not only what we do, but why we do the things we do. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, it's frustrating when we know that this is not helping and yet we keep doing on those things. So it helps us gain insights as to why we do the things we do. I love how you phrased it. And nothing. I was just thinking about yeah, something like I'm going to record a video just after this live, so I was like, okay, I can include that in that. Okay, coming back. Yeah, so so now I know how my mind works. So okay, Kathleen says, "Thank you, Anisha. It felt so good to be here today. Same, Kathleen. Same." It really felt so good, and I'm looking forward to the next live whenever that is going to be scheduled. So, if you are new to me and if you haven't followed me, and if you enjoyed the space, then you are welcome to follow me so that you get notified when I schedule the next live. And these lives are usually more regular, like on alternate days. At this moment, it is not. And by the way, okay, an update for those who are not a part of my group here on Insight Timer, but know why I took a break. So, yeah, my mom's operation is done. So, like, there were 2 holes in her heart detected, and her operation is done. Her surgery is done, whatever it is called. Um, and yeah, and she's stable. And after like few days of ICU, now she is back to her room in the hospital. So yeah, she's stable and now she will recover and she's like out of anything. Yeah, like yeah, she's stable. So yeah, I'm happy to share this news with you, and I'm really really grateful for all the beautiful energy, the positive vibes that you guys sent my way, sent my family's way, sent my mom's way. Like some of you prayed for her, some of you lit candles for her, and I am really, really touched by your this beautiful, like these beautiful gestures. Some of you checked in, while I was on a break. So yeah, it just means a lot to me that you guys think of me or you hold her in your heart. It just means a lot. Thank you. You guys are so, so amazing. And I'm just so grateful to get to connect with you, to know you guys in some way uh, through this. I'm grateful to Inside Timer. Like, I love doing these lives now, and I miss them so much on the days I can't do them. So, yeah, let's hope I will schedule the next live very soon. Ah. Kathleen says, are you shifting the time to earlier? Um, yeah, so Kathleen, maybe for like the next 2 or 3 months, I would have to shift it to this time, like 3 hours earlier, because that is the only time I'm free. Otherwise, like I have to take care of the home and stuff. So yeah, it just that time is not possible now. Uh, I think 2 months, 2 or 3 months. But after that, I would go back to the time that I usually do these lives, like 3 hours later or 2 hours later, I think from now. So yeah, I hope that you guys can make it the regular ones who have been there with me at that time. And if not, you guys can always like watch the live and then, at the time when I can do that at our previous time slot, then I will like, schedule one for that. Okay, great. Kathleen says both times work for me. I'm an early bird. Happy to have this early board here in this space, really. So yeah, I'm glad that this time works for you, Kathleen. And Patrick says, I love the way your mind works, and it has helped me through so much, and not to overthink about the aspect in my personal life, in my personal experience. So I want to thank you so much. We all love having you here, Patrick. We love how your brain works. And we love your presence here. So I am just so glad to have connected with you. We are glad to connect with you. And yeah, I take in all those kind words into my heart. Okay. Catherine says sending you l- lots of healing prayers. So yeah, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. So I hope that you guys found okay, lots of love. I assume that, but yeah. Hmm. Okay. So I hope to see you guys very soon, and I hope that you guys got something of value, whatever that is for you. It can be knowledge, it can be presence, the energy, the peace, whatever it is. And yeah, um, and yeah, okay, okay. So two things before I end this, real quick. First thing is that in case you guys missed the meditation or the live, or you want to rewatch this live or the any other lives, then you can do so by going to my profile on Inside Timer, which is Anisha Maheshwari. You can go to the About section there. When you scroll down here, you will find this live as well as all the previous lives in this Wheel of Wisdom series. And you will also find some gifts that I have created for you here as well. So I hope that you do find something of value. And although it does take like around let's say 30 minutes for this video to get uploaded. So if you want like immediate access to what happened in this live, you just want the readings, not the meditation, then you can also access that through my group on Inside Timer, which is called World of Wisdom. And that group is, you can either search for it in the search box and go to the group section, or you can go to my profile And when you scroll down on the home page, at the bottom, you will see here, this is our group, and here I share a summary of what we read in the live and the name of the books within like 5 to 10 minutes. So you guys can access that along with 128 beautiful beings who are a part of this. And you can explore all of my content through the playlist sections. Like I've arranged all my content in the form of 4 playlists so it is easy to navigate. Or you can check out the courses section for more. So here are all of my 7 courses in case you are new or you want more of me until I do the next live. So yeah, till then, take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day or night. And I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. May you all be well. May you all be safe. May you all be healthy. May you all be happy. Thank you for tuning in. Okay.